What's going on, y'all? Jimmy Backroom, Marcus Cash, SP3. It's time for the AEWrecap for All Elite Wrestling's Wednesday Night Dynamite for February 3rd, 2021. This is Beach Break. I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Probably not as much as I enjoyed last week's, but I enjoyed it a lot. And this makes 3 decent booking weeks in a row. Not 3 good episodes in a row. They're never going to do that. There's 2 good episodes in a row and 3 good booking weeks in a row.
They're most definitely not.
January through February last year was like the best run.
First of all, remember that shit last year? Hey, come on. All right, cool. You sound like Todd Gurley. Remember last year? No, beat it. Jared Goff. Okay, so they started off with the Battle Royal. I gotta be honest, I love the way it was booked throughout. I love the early Matt Jackson elimination, not just because it's Matt Jackson. It just felt like shit is real. I thought they were. Wait a minute, I forgot. My favorite part of the Battle Royal was actually the open when Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle came out and they had their entrance, and then the Acclaim cut them off, and then you could see it ringside. Chris Jericho was legitimately pissed, asking the referee, "What the fuck happened?" I don't know. What the fuck going on with me? I don't run the show. Talk to Tony, Chief.
I'm here for the Acclaimed. Hashtag everybody loves the Acclaimed. Which is a real hashtag. It trends on Twitter.
Lick my balls. That's also a legitimate hashtag. I'll be doing that in a minute.
You have enough followers, you can make that happen.
Jesus. I apologize if you were whatever.
Ball liquor.
I thought Inner the Inner Circle was booked fantastically. I thought everybody came off relatively smart. Dark Order was solid. And then I liked the winner. I liked fucking Jericho going over. Especially with his finish. It was clean. What'd you think?
Yeah, that ending with the was it the Judas effect that knocked him out?
It was.
Oh, that was beautifully done.
Best I've looked in a while, yeah.
I like what I like the most out of all of this, besides the Matt Jackson elimination and besides Acclaim getting their spotlights, is the fact that at the end, not only did Jericho win with Acclaim Judas effect, but Sammy Guevara just walked off disgustingly. Rightfully so, because he got screwed over by his stablemate. But he wanted no parts of the celebration or anything, and he was just walked off disgusted. And I'm here for the tension and or swerve.
I need my Sammy Batista moment. I need it immediately. Sorry, what'd you think?
I thought this Battle Royal wasn't as well booked and well worked as other Battle Royals that they've had in the past. I did like the booking of the Young Bucks eliminations because they showed the highlight from last year's Battle Royal before Revolution with Matt Jackson eliminating both Santana and Ortiz.
Disgusting.
Then they turned it around and had Santana and Ortiz eliminate Matt Jackson this year. Great touch. And then they had Gallows and Anderson basically screw out Private Party and then indirectly distract Nick Jackson to cause his elimination. So all great stuff on that accord, but it just felt a little bit too contrived how everybody would move to the side and then the middle would be for the people that are about to get eliminated. Like, get your shit in, get eliminated. Okay, next spot, get your shit in, get eliminated, rinse and repeat. It was a little bit too much of that, and I feel like previous Battle Royals, they've done it a lot smoother. That's why I said it was a little bit not as well worked. But I like the winner. Jericho and MJF makes sense. I really enjoyed the Inner Circle story so far, and I know that, you guys were one of the people that were questioning how long they can get this out. But if you remember, he joined the Inner Circle at Full Gear in November. We're now in February, and they've kept all the characters consistent. I feel like if there were some people when they first showed dissension, they was like, oh no, I wanted them to get along at first and then have the dissension. That would go against all their characters and everything that we knew about them heading in, about MJF and Sammy not getting along, MJF being a dickhead. So
yes.
It needed all of this story and it needed all of this. And the fact that the little backstage segments are carrying along this narrative, especially MJF later on in the night saying, kicking the cameraman out and saying he needs to talk to the inner circle with Jericho and Sammy out the room. Great stuff.
First of all, MJF, I took his, we didn't see what happened, but we would imagine he's taking his ever so slight, very subtle, very nuanced bashing of Jericho's leader to the next level with this one. You would have to imagine. I love that segment, even though they fucking up.
I just totally see him being like, I don't want to be tag team champions. I'm going to be world heavyweight champion. It's Chris. I think you guys, Santana, Ortiz, you guys are the real tag team.
I can totally see that. I'm here for it. Next was Sting and Darby, because that's Sting's spot in the night. He's not the first match. He comes on after the first break or the second break, and then he cuts a promo ? Or he says a couple words before he gets interrupted by Team Taz.
Again.
It's more again. I know you're completely shocked. Sting and Darby interrupted by Team Taz. I've never seen it. Taz cut a fine promo. That's what he does. And as usual, they hand it off to Starks, who cuts a fine promo. And that was fine. Hobbs and Cage look terrifying. And we go back to Sting, who said something about something. But more importantly was the final line. He was like, if you say you look in my eyes, you don't see the old Sting, you should look closer. It's a great line, but it was delivered terribly. To be honest, it was terribly delivered. It just was. Like, that's a badass line. But, wouldn't that fall flat? And the TNT champion, by the way, who's been reigning for, I think they said 4 years now, is fucking the fifth most important person in this feud. Even though he's fighting Joey Janela next week for some reason.
Well, because he's the fifth most important person. Actually, no, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sixth most important person in this feud. Because he's a little bit less important in Hook.
Jesus.
That's why he's fighting Joey Janela. That's what you get. When you don't stand out and you're the sixth most important person and you have the title, you have to face Joey Janela. That's your repercussions? Jesus.
This is your rant?
First of all, no, it's not, actually. It stinks. It's just bad. Stinks.
65 degrees outside, it's snowing.
It's 65 degrees.
JR's hilarious.
Taz like, we're gonna what? First off, it was delivered well, but the whole idea of it is just so old. Like, we're gonna have a closer look and we're gonna be around for your match and da da da. Like, all right, whatever. I guess. And it's things like, yeah, and then my 75-year-old self by myself is gonna be there to make sure that the four of you don't get involved because it's Sting and he can do that. He can take on all four of them by himself, apparently. During this match that Darby shouldn't need help with. It's Joey Janela. He stinks.
Taz is involved. He's gonna need the help.
Oh, I hate all of this. Why is Joey Janela on my television? This is gonna get worse in a second. But why is Joey Janela?
He cut a fine promo afterwards.
To you, it was alright.
That's what I just said. What do you mean to me? And then you go, it was alright. That's what I just said.
It's the right and fine. It's I'm dealing with it. I'm not like accepting of it. It's like he doesn't deserve a job on AEW. When they first started and they needed people, sure. But now that they keep hiring people, he shouldn't have a place. He needs to go.
What'd you think, sir? Jesus. Okay.
It's awful.
I thought I hated it.
This is one time I agreed with Jimmy.
Hey!
That's normal.
This felt like a little too much of the same. This felt like a very long segment to announce that Joey Janela is racing Darby Allin for the TNT title last week. That's all it really felt. I mean, the only thing I got out of this is Taz's nice promo and that he stole the mic when he was doing AEW Dark taping because he wasn't allowed in the building, so he decided to steal a mic so he could cut this promo.
We're not allowed in the building, but we got a mic and a cameraman here. And we're not getting paid, apparently, even though we're on TV.
That's how that works.
Yeah, this felt a little too much of the same.
Complete agreement.
I would have preferred them back in their lair.
Sting and Darby?
Back in their lair.
Well, no,
I see them back there. And they should have showed like video of them trying to like search for the lair. I want to see father and son bonding. I don't want to see Team Taz. I'd rather Team Taz have promos on their own. like they did last week with the merch table. And Darby and Sting, the whole point of this is watching their chemistry develop. I am tempering my expectations, but I just want something different. I'm not asking for too much. I don't want Sting to get physical. I want to see the chemistry between him and Darby continue to formulate, and I want to see Team Taz being badasses and Taz cutting promos on their own.
You have sold me, except in burst. I don't want to see Sting and Darby at all. Let it be said that they're still in their lair somehow, even though they have broken windows and it's snowing. I want to see Team Taz hunt down the lair. And
Oh my God!
The camera only on.
Am I going nuts? I had the same idea. Have I lost all my artistic integrity? I'm agreeing with Cash now? That was my exact thought. It should be like, if we're gonna make Team Taz jokes, which is what they are, if they can't beat a 65-year-old man, just go all the way. They should be fucking planning out, looking at the video, trying to figure out where that fucking lair is, right? And the fucking, no, that looks like that's on 12th Street or whatever the fuck. And they fucking spend the whole show looking for this fucking lair.
The whole show, right?
I just want to see like Sting and Darby in their lair. Darby trying to teach Sting how to ride a skateboard. Sting trying to teach Darby how to swing a bat. Like shit like that.
First of all,
shit that I want to see. I don't want to see every week Tony Schiavone introduce Sting. Right?
First of all, Sting better teach Darby the bat first, because if Darby tries to teach him to skateboard first, it's the last time you're gonna see Sting. I'll tell you that right fucking now.
Inverse. Teach Sting first, please.
Tony Khan's like, my money. We paid him up front.
Okay. Sometimes you have to admit when you were wrong. See Matt Hardy teleporting.
Oh, I hated that. I have a rant for fucking Tony Khan again. Throwing people under the bus, which is what fucking rich kids do, is they throw other people under the bus. Oh, I didn't want to do it, but you guys sold me on it, so I should have stood up and said, oh, but it wasn't my idea. Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I hate him so much. I hate him so much. Threw Jericho right under the bus. Whoop, it was your idea. Oh, he stinks. Why do we need to know that? Why do we need to know that? I thought we were a team. I bet if it went brilliantly, he would go, yeah, we all agreed on it, and blah, blah, blah. Just like fucking LeBron James. When LeBron James took that fucking out-of-bounds shot that David Black called, and it went in, he went, oh, yeah, I told David Black I wasn't going to do it, and I'm going to take the shot. And if he missed, he would have said, oh, well, things happen.
Coach's decision.
It's coach's decision. I don't know what you want from me. Oh, he stinks. These are my thoughts, by the way. This is not the thoughts of True Heel Heat or anybody else involved. This is me and me alone. They don't agree at all. They love Tony Khan, great guy, brilliant, visionary.
The best.
Speaking of,
you complimented him at the top of the show. So.
That's true. 3 good book weeks in a row, sir. Keep it up. I'm sure it was all your ideas. And all the bad ones there are somebody else.
Even though his
Matt Jackson, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, is their ideas.
Even though his decisions is going to lead to not a good 3rd week in a row again.
Up next, we got a video package from Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. Go ahead, because I'm with you on this one.
I love another thing that could be throughout the show. I love this. That video package was great. The match was great.
Wait a minute.
What?
I thought we were on the same page with the video package.
What?
They didn't include the best part in the video package.
Oh, they didn't include the best part.
Fucking Britt Baker washing that fucking paint off her face. What was that? That's my favorite part. That's what sold me on the feud, and it's the only thing that wasn't in it.
I agree, but that yes,
You missed the Jade Cargill vignette.
That was fucking solid. If we never heard her
I
talk.
was like, just present her like this without talking. Like, that's what I want. I want to see Jade have muscles in places that I don't have places.
Agree with you. Jade Cargill should just do workout video vignettes the whole time. But Baker, yes.
like when Triple H was rehabbing, they should just do that with Jade Cargill.
Just do that, and then at the bottom just.
You try to use that song, would you? Something more threatening.
Just at the bottom with the Jade logo that she has somehow already. But yeah, huge omission. Thunder Rosa getting her face wash from Britt Baker. That was missing. But the promo package itself, really solid.
Felt like a big deal.
Felt like one of those pay-per-view packages right before the match.
Not even really later on in the night, but I'm gonna get to that just yet. Go Baker comes out. She looks pissed, and I was immediately concerned because I think of your boy Shawn Michaels. And whenever he looked annoyed or uninterested or something, that means he's losing, because that's how that works. Politics didn't work, so now I'm gonna lose this fucking match. Unless it's Hulk Hogan, then I'm gonna be hilarious. Thunder Rosa came out. I liked it. hilarious. I'm sorry, people like Shawn Michaels ruined. No, it was hilarious, and he should do it more often.
Yes. That was one of the better SummerSlam matches.
We all remember it 15 years later. Thunder Rosa came out. I liked the outfit. She looked like a star. I thought the match was fine. Ironically, when they were, I don't want to say botching, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, struggling in that fucking pinfall combination they were doing towards the end, it looked good to me though. Like, it was two people having a fight. Like, we're not agreeing on what the fuck to do here.
It looked like they were both told they were winning.
You would imagine that's how people should act.
Yeah.
Reba's interference, a bit over the top, but then she stepped into the ring and then dilly-dallied and then got out of the ring. Go ahead.
I love her getting in the ring and like yelling. Like, she's yelling. She's like, ah!
That character fits. They fit together so much. I don't know how.
Reba feels herself getting third wheeled so hard, and she's doing everything she can to like still be like a relevant character. Like, she's getting into the ring. They Rosa and Baker were like on the ramp thing, and she's like turned around and like yelled into the camera. Like, I love Reba so much.
I'm here for it. I wish she could wrestle, because that'd be a cool turn to do. Baker wins after she hit him.
You are underrating this match.
You think so? You like this match?
This match was fabulous.
Fabulous?
Real.
No, Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan is fabulous. This is not fabulous.
This was fabulous. This was gritty. It felt real. It felt like a real fight.
It did.
It felt like the biggest match in the women's division of AEW, and it lived up to that expectation. Okay. Britt Baker has improved so much over the last year and a half in the ring. Her footwork has gotten better, her pacing, the way she's able to express her character in the ring with facial expressions, body language, all on point. But my God, Thunder Rosa is on another fucking level from a lot of women in AEW. Like,
agreed.
She has like this. She's moving on like a treadmill, and everybody else is walking on the ground. Like, the way she moves in the ring, the way she hits moves, the way she runs, the way she hits the ropes. Her character is always very, very into each matchup, and she makes it different. So Thunder Rosa, she's in the top 5 women in the world as far as in-ring work, and she proved it here once again with giving Britt Baker probably her first or second best match in her AEW career.
Oh, wow. First of all, I don't watch enough to know. I know Sasha Banks, and that's the end of that's the people I put over Thunder Rosa off the top of my fucking head. Is top 5?
Sasha Banks, Deonna Purrazzo.
See, I'm already lost.
Bailey. Yeah, no. Deonna Purrazzo, Bailey, Io Shirai, Thunder Rosa.
Wow, no Charlotte. You used to love Charlotte.
Where's Charlotte and Asuka? Like, what?
When was the last time Charlotte had a great match?
She's the queen every time she steps in the ring.
Exactly.
Don't do
Move
that.
on. No.
Don't do that.
Just move on, because
Don't do that.
if this was a podcast, if this was a podcast, we had to fill that dead air. So move on. You have anybody else?
Asuka.
When
Definitely.
was the last time I had a great match?
To be fair, they gave her a lot of
More
bad
than
storylines.
years. Move on. No. Let's go. Name another one.
They don't give her anybody to work with.
Another one that you could immediately name the last great match they had.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Rhea Ripley?
Last great match she had, and she hasn't been around that long. It's like, she's only been wrestling for like 3 years, and she hasn't been booked well for the past year. So
I like the Raquel Gonzalez Rhea Ripley thing.
that was a really strong match. But to say that she's in the top 5 women's wrestlers in the world, I don't think I've ever heard anybody make that claim about Rhea Ripley. She has potential. Potential is different than being the best right now, though.
Bianca Belair?
Alright, Jesus, we're not gonna go down the whole fucking roster. Jesus.
Because she had a really good match against Bailey.
I said great, not really, really good.
Okay. So I assume you think this Thunder Rosa match was great with Goat Baker.
It was like on that borderline. Like, I would have gave it like 3 3/4, but I wouldn't get mad at anybody who gave it 4 stars.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I'm a touch below fabulous, but I thoroughly enjoyed the match.
Yeah, you guys know you're right. I might have been too busy being nervous she was going to lose the match. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible.
And I love that finish as well.
I love the
finish. Smart to protect Thunder Rosa and put over Baker's heel character.
I love it. I wish they would have went with your idea of this kind of removes Gold Baker from the tournament and she's next up for the title shot. But that was not to be the case. Gold Baker and Thunder Rosa are both in the tournament. This is not that era. You need to hear the silence to understand how annoyed I am that is the case. I was so fucking bothered. As a matter of fact, that's where the show took a downturn for me. As casual test to. I got a lot louder after that.
Yeah, it's...
I love the lineup for the tournament. The tournament lineup is great except for Big Swole not being there. That's what I was disappointed.
How about we remove Gold Baker, who shouldn't be in it, and we add Big Swole?
Actually, remove Thunder Rosa also because she lost the match. Britt Baker should be number one contender. They're both out. Big Swole and whoever else. I'm sure there's somebody.
That removes Thunder Rosa from the top 16 people because she lost to Gold Baker?
What?
Gee, this, to me, anyway, this tournament is about people that need to prove themselves to go get a shot at the title. Thunder Rosa, you can argue, is a contender regardless. Actually, remove Serena Deeb also, since she's a champion.
Remove her belt, because it's atrocious.
Preferably. Right?
That was the other thing I've ever seen.
Like, legit title contenders shouldn't be in this. Takani makes sense, Anna Jay makes sense, Big Swole would make sense, right? All these people. 8 Japanese women I've never heard of before make sense. Rio, despite the fact that she's on the American side for whatever reason, she's been missing for a year essentially, so that makes sense, right? But
joking, love the Japs.
I do too.
One side is being fought in America. One side is being fought in Japan. Rio worked her ass off to come over to the U.S. for AEW stuff, and ironically, it was when AEW scheduled matches in Japan. So that's why she's on the American side.
So we assume she's going to turn, right?
Yeah. So why are there rankings? Why do you have? If this was a tournament strictly in Japan, and then whoever won that gets a title shot, cool. Why is there a tournament with your own roster when you have a ranking system that you already ignore, by the way? Which I guess is the justification for a tournament, but these things should not coexist. You should not have a random tournament when you have a top 5 thing. Doesn't make sense to begin with because Britt Baker doesn't have the title. But after that, this doesn't make sense to me. What in the hell? I understand the partnership with Japan. Whatever. You got to do something. But Jesus.
Well, then I have a question. Is it bracketed, you think?
I hadn't even considered that.
Because if they bracketed like 1 through 5, 1, 2, 3, fucking whatever, I'd be okay with it.
Except who knows who 6, 7, and 8 are because they never tell us. They only give us the top 5. And according to last week or the week before, it doesn't even make sense because they had Nyla Rose with the worst record ahead of Big Swole, or opposite. They had Big Swole ahead of Nyla Rose when Nyla Rose had a better record than Big Swole. So, here's that.
That was your rank?
That's one of them.
Jesus, how many you got?
I got a couple.
Alright, oh Jesus. Hangman is getting dressed in Matt Hardy's locker room.
Love that.
Matt Hardy, he's 2 Carolina boys, apparently.
Which was a nice line to use because it touched on FTR.
Yeah.
He's from Virginia. He just wrestled in North Carolina.
That's why.
I wish he would have said that.
That's what I thought the face was about. This motherfucker doesn't even know where the fuck I'm from.
I was thinking about I was thinking North Carolina brings up bad memories because of FTR, and then Kenny Omega's always talking about North Carolina also. So I was thinking Hangman Adam Page just doesn't really like to hear the words North Carolina right now.
No, he's not from North Carolina. That's why he looked at him like that.
All right, well, I extrapolated.
Clearly, you have a habit of doing that. So, I thought the tag team match was fine. Did you guys love it too? I missed out on that one. Was I too distraught by Britt Baker?
I don't remember who they wrestled.
Dark Order, right?
No, Chaos Project.
Oh, right.
Oh shit!
I blanked it out.
I thought Hangman Page looked like a star.
Always.
He's the only guy that looked like a star here.
Yes.
Anytime he was in the ring, it had more energy. The crowd reacted as such. And yeah, I just think that if he's able to have an entertaining segment with Sir Luther, you guys need to put some goddamn respect on Hangman Page's name. I know you guys don't like his booking, but this is all a part of the grand plan of my good friend, the good brother, Mr. Anthony. All about the major plan, the end goal, Hangman Page, AEW World Champion. But I like the whole episodic feel of his story arc, because from the moment that he left, him and Omega broke up. You had the world title eliminator, and who was he going up against mostly in the world title eliminator, or before that, the Dark Order. Then the Dark Order tried to recruit him. Who was the first team that the Dark Order fought with Hangman Page? Matt Hardy and Private Party. Then they developed chemistry. They got to win some matches. Then they eventually asked Hangman to join, and then he turned them down. That ended the Dark Order arc of this. And then he's moved on to Matt Hardy. He's gone back to where he started with Dark Order. It's to Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy trying to play off their former friendship and him starting in his promotion. So it's a lot. It's adding layers to this character that's already compelling to us, but it's making him more compelling with the added layers that they're adding to him and giving him something to do, because I think Omega deserves and needs a long title run. But I think the end goal is Hangman Page.
Do you have something to add?
Even though my Crash TV preferences would have fast forwarded this a lot more, so I don't mind the elonging of it with Matt Hardy. I want to see kind of like a flirtationship where different factions, because there's about 20 of them, all trying to recruit.
I think that's what we're going to. He's just doing like it in arcs.
Yeah.
Like you had the Dark Order, now you got Matt, then you'll have like I think by the time he gets to the inner circle, it'll be MJF's inner circle, and that would be a whole different thing to it. Like, oh, wouldn't you want to join the group that we kicked out Chris Jericho, the guy that beat you and set you on the path to become this drinker? Like,
yeah. So, like, I'm hoping for that. This has been interesting, and I agree with you. Hangman Adam Page absolutely looks like a star. You know who doesn't? You know who doesn't look like a star? That I couldn't even remember this match at all. Is alleged Dr. Luther. He's awful. He also doesn't need to have a job. He's
Chris Jericho's friend. You get a job.
Michael Nakazawa is Omega's friend, and he had him on Dark mostly. So
Luther's been on Dark mostly.
Yes, and he needs to stay there.
same thing as Brandon Cutler.
He needs to stay there. They need to
Stay there.
Stay there. Stay on YouTube. Where if I don't watch you, it doesn't really make a difference because you're awful. He's Dr. Awful.
I like his look. He'd be great as a background guy for like The Undertaker or when he had the Nightmare Collective with Brandy.
Yeah, I think he came in on
that. That's what I'm saying. He's good as like just some guy who looks kind of scary in the background. In the ring, I could do without all that.
Yeah, he, like very Dungeon of Doom-ish, but he's like the second or third muscle of a group that's easily replaceable.
I never knew his position, but as soon as you said it, I went, yeah.
He's a second or third muscle.
Second or third rate muscle.
He's not the leader of a tag team. Like, I think there's a tremendous disservice to Serpentico, and I'm not even the biggest Serpentico fan in the world.
Fair enough.
I just think Dr. Luther looks like he is the uncle of Dom from Entourage.
He does. Dom's a mess. He looks a mess.
What a callback.
There's some stuff that happened in between this, but we already talked about it at MGF. The tournament announced. Up next was the wedding with Penelope and Kip, and I have to say, I loved this wedding up until the very end. Like, I loved everything about it. I thought Kip was hilarious. They kept the microphone away from Penelope for most of it. Jim Mitchell is hilarious and always has been. Miro was fucking splendid. And I felt like he was the audience. He was guessing where shit was gonna go wrong, and he was just cutting that shit off at the pass, and it was hilarious. I know it was the gift they did. Oh, that one was if anybody would object to this, no.
Done this enough times. Just skip that. He looked like the smartest person in the room. He looked like the biggest star. He was the glue of this whole segment. Even if you didn't enjoy the last part, he was the most enjoyable part of the last part. And the last part had the best part with the, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Yes.
No more.
These cocksuckers. Austin Gunn, of course, he's got to make the show about him, because that's what it's about. We didn't see him start it, but I know it was him. Had to start it, because he's got to start the Jungle Boy shit with music. He starts the Austin Gunn shit. He's the star. That was just Cody put him over in the main event of that fucking thing before the fucking pay-per-view. I'll never look at that. He's been even more Austin Gunn. But that aside, I just felt like the Chuck, I don't want to say handcuffing, because it wasn't his hands, but leg cuffing Miro. But it was a great spot, but it didn't hit. I don't know why it didn't hit. Maybe lack of fans, lack of paying attention. They didn't fucking block it properly. I don't know what it was. It just didn't.
For me, it was a convenience. Where it was like, we're looking at this. I think that's like right when he destroyed the gift or whatever. And then we're inside the ring. And then, oh, whoops. Hey, his leg's shackled.
Maybe Charles needed a line. Like, you should look at your leg or something like that. It just didn't hit. I don't know why.
Or come give me a hug. And then he can't.
Everything happened too fast. Like, they was like... They said he got shackled, then Penelope fell into the cage, then Charles is fighting Kip, then Orange comes out of the cage, and then he gets hit with the thing, and then it's over. Like, everything, they did the wedding part really slow, and then did that part really fast, when you should have done the wedding part really fast, and then that ending part really slow. Like, that was what it was. I didn't think it was the best wedding, but I've seen a lot of shitty wrestling weddings, and this was probably in, like, the middle tier.
Yes. What? You didn't think... You thought it was the best wedding?
This is one of the top 2 weddings I thought we were in agreement on. One of the top 3 wrestling weddings. For me, I have Stephanie, Tess, Triple H, and then I have Billy and Chuck, and then I have this. Not in order, but...
That's 3. That's 3.
Top 3.
I have Billy and Chuck. And that's the end of my list. I gotta be honest. I love that wedding.
Billy
the second best one.
Until the end.
Billy and Chuck is the number 1 for me because that had the best payoff.
Yes. It built everything so perfect.
Steph Test. I actually really like Lana and Lashley and the Liv Morgan lesbian shit.
I gotta see it.
It was so Heyman. It felt like a wedding that Heyman would have booked at ECW. Yes. So that's why I really enjoyed that one. But all 3 of those are much better than this wedding.
Yes. I gotta see it. I want to see Lashley and
You need to.
Yeah,
You need to, because it's so bad up until Liv comes out. And then Liv comes out and it just takes everything like, okay, what the fuck happened the last 10, 15 minutes? I don't even care. This is interesting.
Heyman's fucking, his Make Vince Happy segments, I always thoroughly enjoy. If I'm going to get it, I want to get it through Heyman's eyes. And it always works for me. Fucking, we talked about Billy and Chuck. I guess this would be one of them too. I'm here for it. How much better, I know you saw a couple weeks ago, how much better is Shaq off the cuff, just making shit up, than he is scripted? That scripted promo we gave a couple weeks ago was terrible. But the shit with Brandy I thought was really good, and I thought the shit here was really good. Shaq is hilarious in and of himself. Just let him do that.
Yeah. I started laughing. I started dying laughing.
You want to see me funny? I'm fine. You see? Like Tornado.
Yeah. No, it was about the TNT executives and producers were like, Shaq, sit down. It's a pandemic, Shaq.
It's getting all close to everybody.
I
love that. But if we can avoid Shaq ever reading from a teleprompter again, it would be amazing. This was so much better.
I would have been intimidated as well, but you heard, oh fucking Ernie Charles. They stopped laughing. He hit the glass.
Oh, Shaq. Oh,
So
Jesus.
we got a show to do now. We got to fix this glass real quick.
Are we in trouble? Up next was, oh my God, I'm just so bothered. This was, I'm going to keep my Tony Khan hate in check. Because the next match was Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston in a lumberjack match. For some reason. Now, I think what?
I can explain the reason.
I was going to say
this was rushed onto this show.
Is this the reason that fucking Archer showed up at the end of the night? Go ahead. Give me the reason. Give me the reason.
The reason why...
Before you even say the reason, by the way, before you even say the reason, if you step in my shoe by accident, you step something in my shoe. So, there's an excuse stepping in my shoe. So, if there's a reason this is rushed, I'm just saying, it was terrible. I don't care why it was terrible, it was terrible. But, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, this is not a defense of it. This is the reasoning why 1 week after they had a really good matchup, you just came back and had not as really good of a matchup. Was because TNT, the feed went out last week during the beginning of the show. So a lot of the viewers didn't see Archer versus Kingston last week. So that's why he decided to do the match this week. And I just feel a lot of the stuff that we feel don't hit is stuff that Tony Khan didn't plan out. More than the stuff that he does plan out. Because I just feel like this was thrown out there, thrown out with the stipulation, and this was the result.
So the TNT feed went out. Okay, so maybe this is the reason. Because I think we really liked the shows up until the pandemic, right? And we've liked some of the shows kind of as they've kind of gotten going afterwards.
Like every other, or 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3.
He's just not very good off the cuff. If you give him a piece of paper and say you plan for the next 10 weeks, I guess he can do that. Because, hey, you got a show tomorrow. What's up? He fucking shits the bed. Fair enough. Because that excuse you just gave me, or not excuse, what you call it, a reason you just gave me, that was, what? That's what you came up with? That's the best you can do? How about you just fucking show a replay? How about you just fucking do a video package and then add the fucking win on the end? How about you have Kingston win the fucking match? What the fuck are we doing? You just fucking made both of them more worthless. I'm sorry. Kingston finally got a big win. And, I hated that match. I hated the match. I hated the match before it even fucking happened. I hated that they booked this fucking match. Give me something else.
Yeah, I understand the reasoning. I still didn't like the match. But the 50-50 of it is really what bothers me the most out of everything involved. Like, Kingston needed that win he got last week. He finally got one because he never gets a win. Archer, you can do whatever with at any point. I was assuming that because he was going to be involved at the end of the show, that's why he was picking up the win here. But if that's not even the reason, this doesn't...
Well, that is the reason.
Well, I mean, you don't...
I never said that wasn't the reason he got the win.
I don't think he was needed there anyway in the first place. But I just... Kingston shouldn't be losing frivolous matches. Like, he loses all the pay-per-views or the other TV special matches. Like, he doesn't need to be losing another match right now.
I just have a general problem with all these fucking factions that are worthless. Outside the Inner Circle, who are really good at beating themselves, apparently. But everybody else, Team Taz is going to beat up a 65-year-old man. Eddie Kingston, who's the leader of this group, can't win a fucking match. Until last week, and they gave it right back this week. Who else is in a faction? The Dark Order, they're inherently worthless now, no offense.
No, they're not.
They're inherently worthless.
They're great when they work together. It's when you separate them, that's when they're worthless.
They're a comedy gimmick. I'm sorry. And I'm here for it. I find Silver hilarious and a future star. But come on now. It is what it is. But it's him, and that's the end of it. They won't be giving energy to the brother.
They lose a lot of points with being on Dark every week now.
I love that. It bothered me. I was hoping for the snake turn. I don't know if we're going to get it.
Yeah.
And how did production miss the snake doing a clothesline? Oh.
And let me tell you something. We didn't see it. But whoever he hit, he laid him the fuck out because he tapped him on the stomach like, my bad. I didn't mean to hit you that fucking arm. It's been a while. He was like...
Yeah, I think that guy was legitimately down. He was like, ow. Who was that? I forgot. Who was that?
And Helicopter.
Oh, poor bastard. He ain't got a lot of fucking meat on his bones either. Jesus, you poor fucking bastard.
They better let him dance for twice as long next time he shows up on TV.
All right, so we're all in agreement about the match, right?
Yeah, that match was a train wreck.
I mean, it's the fact that, the booking is just so 50-50 and so unnecessary to do that. I understand Archer had to get the win to set up him getting involved in the main event, and I'm all for that. I think that his involvement in the main event made sense because of his connection with Pac and Phoenix in the war with Eddie Kingston, and he's also, had comments to say about this whole Bullet Club reunion and going over the Impact. So that sets up, that. But it's just 1 week after they had a really good matchup. This felt like a clusterfuck. It felt like it was poorly planned, poorly worked out. So it's unfortunate. I hate to be down on an Eddie Kingston segment, but I was here.
Oh, it's my least favorite thing to do. That's not true. Kobe's my least favorite thing to fucking bash, but so to speak. That was my other hope, by the way. When she came out annoyed, I was like, maybe she broke up with that guy. Nice. I'm not cutting that. Fuck it. Oh, right. Next was fucking the best segment of the night. Quite frankly, I know you love the main event. This is the best segment of the night. FTR. First of all, they cut a really good promo. I love Tully. He seemed very lucid this segment. Probably had a nice conversation with Grace's daughter. And then they do the reveal that they've got fucking this little dummy tied up in a chair. Fucking sometimes good men have to do bad things.
Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what would bad men do?
Oh, that is the line. And I love how delusional they are. That in their head somehow they're the good guys. That they were somehow robbed of this opportunity. They fucking threw dust in this poor bastard's face, fucking ready to cut this cocksucker's hair off, cut this guy's fucking horns off. Like, you're awful people. But in their heads they're not. And it works. And
doing all that got them suspended for a week.
Solid booking, Tony.
So
took you long enough.
So they follow that up with a kidnapping. A kidnapping.
Wait a minute.
Because that's going to...
You just said it perfectly. We got in trouble, so we're gonna kidnap somebody. Yeah. We got in trouble for cutting the guy's horns off, so let's go kidnap somebody. Next week they're gonna murder somebody on the air and wonder why it didn't go well.
Hopefully, Jungle.
What's going on? Why are we not on TV again?
Hopefully, it's Marco Stunt.
Oh, Jesus. What'd you think?
Promo was good. I thought it was a little over the top and a little out of character for them to commit kidnapping. Regardless of how annoyed they were with Marco's son, it seemed to escalate pretty quickly. So
well, they just went over the top last week, right? They went over the top last week with they went to cut Jungle Boy's hair.
Sure, it's true.
That's really fast now.
But
sick of this shit.
I hope they have like social media videos where they're showing that they're actually feeding Marco, and if we have nothing on social media involving Marco Stunt being kidnapped by them or being held prisoner by them, I'll be highly disappointed that next week he's like there in just a chair tied up again. What the fuck have Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy been doing for a week? They haven't been looking for their friend.
Where are the cops?
I'm all the way the other way. I think it's like FTR are breaking, and so that's why they're going so extreme. Slash parts of Edge's old storyline, Crusade Against All Things Stupid. I don't want to see them feeding Marco Stunt. I want to see them waterboarding Marco Stunt. I wanted just to see just complete villainy. Yes. Complete villainy.
That's over the top. I'm not gonna waterboard.
Again, this is just what I want. This is just what I want.
The military's not allowed to waterboard anymore. Fucking here goes FTR on national television waterboarding somebody.
Well, no, it'd be on Twitter. Yeah, it's I don't know where they go from here with any of this, but this is fantastic. This is great, and this is the delivery, the dryness of FTR in their delivery made this beautiful.
It did feel like they were going to do something next week. Like, the way they were talking, like, you know what, we're sick of this shit, boom, 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 next week. No, we did it already. We just wanted to fucking cut a promo.
And just completely stoic about it, by the way. Completely stoic.
Now, to bring up your point about lack of, well, I guess, consistent wrestling stupidity, I do hope this is the end of it. Like, Jungle Boy rushed in afterwards, and it turns out they already laid him out. He's just a bloody mess, and that's the end of it. Because they have him next week. Like, really? How? Where are the cops? Nobody gives a fuck? Oh, okay. You say so.
Really not. I do hope we get a tag team match at Revolution, though. I think they've done a good job of building this up enough where it feels like a pay-per-view match to do Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus FTR.
It does. Ironically, I feel like if FTR wins, which they should, obviously, it feels almost like a big win, frankly. It should put them right back where they are, where they belong.
It feels like a big win either way because Jurassic Express would only be the second team to beat them if they got the W.
Yeah, let's not put that in the atmosphere.
I just did.
My question to you would be, since you follow these things more closely than I do, did this feel like an FTR call to get themselves removed from that Battle Royal? Because that was the best booking. Small thing, but it's really good booking not to have them in that fucking tournament. Like, why? No.
Especially if they're
when I saw them on the graphic, I was just like, they should not be in this. They shouldn't be losing even a battle royal. They should not be losing anything. Like, especially if the long-term planning, which it seems to be, is that we're going to get Young Bucks versus MJF and Jericho here at Revolution. And then we're not even going to go to the FTR Young Bucks match at the next pay-per-view. We're going to Good Brothers versus Young Bucks, champion versus champion. That's another reason why I feel Jurassic Express should beat them at Revolution, because our FTR will, it won't, if FTR gets another win and they win every feud they're in, it's just going to be like, okay, guys, like, when are y'all going back to this FTR Young Bucks match? At least the Jurassic Express getting the win will explain, like, okay, that's why FTR had to take a step back, and that's why the Good Brothers are getting the shot now. It just would work better as far as where they're going with everything, because I think that we're not going to get FTR Young Bucks 2 until probably All Out, and that's like 8 months away. So it's just like, how do you get from point A to point B? It would be to keep them occupied, and I think that this Jurassic Express feud has wheels on it, where you can blow it off at Revolution, or you can even keep it going.
Is the pay-per-view before that? After Revolution or before All Out?
It's Double or Nothing.
And you're thinking the Good Brothers match happens then? I don't know. They might have some big event where Tony Khan wants to fucking...
About like all those TV shows.
Crew?
I don't think FTR Young Bucks 2 should happen on one of those shows.
No. The Good Brothers. The Good Brothers.
I don't think that should happen on...
Why? Why are we treating them like they're important now? Knock this off.
Both of those are money matchups that people will pay money to see. So I think that you need to put those on pay-per-view.
We're in high disagreement there. I know nothing about FTR before they showed up, but I knew who they were, even though I didn't watch it all.
Are they doing another one of those TV specials before this upcoming pay-per-view?
No.
It was like
4 weeks until the pay-per-view.
It's like tomorrow.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw away the Jericho and JF tag title match, so I'm trying to figure that
out. Fair enough.
Okay, so I know I say this a lot, but I'm gonna need you, at least when I'm on the show, Cash, don't book for you. Book for other people. Because if you just book for you, it goes against everything that this company is doing. So,
Not everything.
That's a request.
Not everything. As would trim the roster a bit, but not everything would totally change. I enjoy this Omega, for example. I like the Good Brothers being around.
I do too. I like this coalition we're currently forming of non-WWE companies. I'm here for it. By the way, speaking of loving Kenny Omega, thoroughly annoyed they came out together. Omega and the Good Brothers robbed us of his fantastic entrance. God,
I love this. This was all a part of the story.
I don't care. I want the entrance.
he didn't come out with the Young Bucks.
Yes,
One.
that was public.
And then he comes out with the Big One. And two, they got a whole Bullet Club theme made. If you listen to the Bullet Club New Japan theme, this literally sounded like a knockoff version of it. Like to the point that Anderson says the lyrics or talks over the music for the Bullet Club theme, and then Anderson and Gallows were doing that for this theme. So
I thought that was very subtle storytelling that they came out together. It was really good. No, they should have just dressed up as fucking workout girls and danced for Kenny Omega. Because the entrance is the most important part. All that would have led to is Gallows like jerking off the broomstick and shit.
No, they'd have been sword fighting with the brooms. And there's a different height, so like Anderson's got it all the way up here, but like Gallows got to like angle it down.
They wouldn't have been snore fighting like that. They would have been.
Yes, they would.
Like literally, the report was, I think it was from Dave Meltzer, Wrestling Observer, that the last week's main event was the most edited matchup in AEW history.
Yes.
Because they spent the entire matchup doing jacking off, ejaculation stuff, smoking marijuana references. Like, they were all over the place. Like you said, they very much come off like this generation's Hall and Nash.
Yes, just children. Giant, talented children.
Okay, so they sword fight down here and Kenny Omega jumps over it.
I have a Kenny Omega joke. I'm leaving it completely alone because I don't want to get
enjoy that jump.
He needs trouble at all. I'm keeping it PG. I'm like fucking the Good Brothers. I love, by the way, that Pac and Rey Fenix waited for Moxley. Finally, some baby faces who are complete idiots. And they're semi on the same page. That's what it told me.
This shit felt big when these guys were making an entrance. Like, when they came out through the entrance with the crowd with Moxley, I was like, yo, this legitimately feels like an all-star baby.
I was just about to say that, yeah. It felt like a big deal. I really like the match. I like Moxley's new pants, by the way. It works for some reason. He looks even more like some guy who's just really good at fighting. But doesn't take it all that seriously. Like,
yeah,
I don't need that whole outfit. I just need pants, I guess, because it's regulations and some boots and my hairy chest and I fight. That's what happens.
Yeah, much better than the military thing, I think.
Yeah, it's better. I don't know if it was much better. Military, right? I thought
it's alright, but I think it is just much better. Just like very, I don't care about anything in life. I just want to fight aspect. I don't think he would care about like the aesthetic, which is what the military thing was.
Okay, fair enough. Look at you, aesthetic.
I've been reading.
I thought the match was really good. I thought Phoenix was the MVP, as he typically is all the time.
Once again, I gotta say, you understated that. Rey Fenix was fucking incredible in this matchup. Like, yo, I was just like, yo, like, this is how, if I was like 20, 30 years old in like 1995, this is how those wrestling fans felt seeing Rey Mysterio. Like, they're just blown away that this guy is this good.
Yes.
And that's how I feel every time I watch Rey Fenix. And he was amazing here.
Yes. I will say, as much as I like his high-flying moves, his best move to me is that, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a rolling senton through the top and middle ropes where he almost fucking nuts himself on the fucking guardrail.
Oh.
Because it looks so not pretty. It's such a I'm trying to hurt somebody move. Naming myself. But it feels like if we're trying to win a match, this is something you would do.
Very real.
Murder, yes.
For me, it's the sidewinder into the roundhouse, back roundhouse kick thing that he does. Oh, it looks like he doesn't have a vertebrae. He just like slinkies his way back, and it's just so quick, and it connects every time. He doesn't whiff on it ever.
Yes.
It's like, oh my god. And the tornado one also in the corner.
I think he's my favorite wrestler to watch right now. I gotta be honest. In the ring.
He just might be.
Yeah.
He just might be. Him and Omega just have incredible chemistry together. Like, every time they're in the ring, it's just phenomenal and on another level from everybody else. But this match had a lot of those, like, anytime two wrestlers are in the ring, he was like, oh, I would love to see these two guys have a one-on-one match. Mm-hmm. And just But it just seemed like when Rey Fenix was in the ring, these guys were just bumping out there and trying to make him look like he was the MVP. And Gallows, I never seen his big ass bump around like that, like he was for Rey Fenix. Carl Anderson, same thing. I love the exchange between Moxley and Omega. Like, I had my boss for Sportskeeda. He was like, yeah, I think it's disappointing that Moxley and Omega touched after such a hot angle they had. And I was like, no, this proved that them touching proved that it's a money matchup on pay-per-view, because the minute they were in the ring and they were slugging it out, the fans got more invested, the fans got more engaged. I was more into it, and I was like, I'm ready for their pay-per-view match, because their lights out match was incredible. Their Winter is Coming match was great, and I just think that if they have 20, 30 minutes, no lights out, no weapons, and just having a one-on-one wrestling match is going to be even better than those two.
Definitely. I'm here for that match. It still feels like, I don't want to say a dream match, because that's like things I've never had before, but as close as you can get to having already seen it before.
Yeah.
What do you think of the finish? Not to the show, but to the match.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because Omega kind of has to cheat.
Yes.
Because you gotta protect Moxley, but I don't want it to be the type of cheating that kind of takes away from the match, because I feel like they were on their way to like a close to 5-star match at Winter is Coming, but they just chose the long way to get to their ending that they were getting to, like the whole paradigm shift into the fan and the referee checking on Omega. Like, that felt like the long way to get to the destination that they got to, instead of just going straight forward to it. So I just hope they have a better way to do that in this matchup coming up.
Indeed. Then there's a big angle at the end. I'm trying to remember the exact order of it, because we know Archer makes an appearance.
So Omega and the Good Brothers jumped to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
They took out Pac when he tried to make the save. Moxley was still down, so then Lance Archer came out to make the save.
Okay.
He fought off the Good Brothers, fought them to the back. So then Moxley had Omega all alone in the ring. He looked like he was going to take out Omega, and then out of nowhere, a guy with 2 masks on came into the ring, jumped Moxley, takes off the mask, and it's none other than Kenta from New Japan Pro Wrestling, from the real, as Jay White says, the real Bullet Club. And he gave Moxley the go to sleep as they are on their way to an IWGP US title match at New Japan Strong, New Beginning in the USA on February 26th.
I actually had to look up Kenta's age. He's 39 years old. I thought he was much older. Since I know who he is, I just figured he was way older than that. Really quickly before we get into the Kenta stuff, Lance Archer's appearance. You brought up that him and Pac had I don't want to say alliance. That's probably too strong a word, but as close to alliance as you can get. Not a friendship, not an alliance.
Unsteady alliance.
An unsteady alliance.
An understanding.
Ooh. Understanding. To me, that should have been built up more last week. Perhaps Pac makes a save when they're fucking them up. Something that fucking reminded us that they are in this together. Because there was nothing of the sort last week, right? Just Kingston going over Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Maybe Kingston goes over Archer and then they jump afterwards and Pac makes a save.
Or just in the back and goes, lost another match, did you? Or something. Where they just having a talk about it. And then maybe they're talking about, like, being more aligned somewhat.
Good, that works. So Archer makes a save here. That would have been cool if you got something on that. The Kenta appearance, first of all, I was wondering why Don Cox was so understated the entirety of the match, quite frankly. Even for him, he was very, understated. He was saving all his energy for this. And it worked. Kenta, first of all, I love the fact that he's just not all in with Kenny Omega. And they did that after the show, too. But his reaction to Kenny, of kind of staring at him like the douchebag that he is. Yeah, like that. Worked for me. I thought Kenta looked good. He looks the same, almost, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I thought he might have put on some weight.
Nope.
Then again, I thought he was 50, so the fact that he's only 39, that helps. And when are they fighting, by the way? Moxley and Kenta?
February 26th on New Japan Strong.
I strangely want to see that match, which is the entire point of this angle. It works. What is going on? Explain to me what is going on. What is Tony Khan trying to do here with all these fucking different people he's bringing to his cause? Like to the mob and they're throwing all in to beat up the darkies. I don't get it. I get it, but I'm here for it.
You ever seen the Avengers?
That's not it.
So, my dearest friend, Sir Anthony Khan, Esquire, he said in a previous press conference around Full Gear that he was looking for the relationship with New Japan to get better because he felt like it was just him giving to New Japan without it when he wants to be a one hand washes the other type of relationship. Because Chris Jericho has appeared in New Japan, Jon Moxley, because those two guys, and Kenny Omega, and a lot of other guys on the roster have in their contract that, of course, AEW is their priority. They're exclusive to AEW, but they can take dates in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
The previous CEO of New Japan, Harold Mage, was a part of the original meeting between AEW and New Japan, and he was more focused on New Japan than AEW. And he wanted to keep his focus on New Japan, keep focus on their relationship with ROH, Rev Pro, CMLL, and not try to get into a new relationship with AEW, even though most of their top stars, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, were going to AEW. They made that unwise decision in January of 2019 because they didn't expect AEW to become the success that they have come in the past 2 years.
Not a fair assumption, unfair assumption, rather.
Fast forward to October 2020, Harold Mage stepped down as CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that was when a lot of people within the business thought that maybe this forbidden door would be reopened. So the following month, the Full Gear post-show press conference, that's when Tony Khan made his statement. He says that with the current situation, the people that can go over to Japan can't really go over there. Plus, even if they did want to go over there, they would have to do a 2-week quarantine. So they would miss like weeks of AEW, which goes against their contract.
Right.
So what Tony Khan decided, because Jon Moxley is the IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Champion, they've been in flux with that whole division for the last couple of months because he hasn't been able to go to Japan. But they've been doing shows at their LA dojo in California. Tony Khan made the decision to let Moxley make the move over there and go appear a part of the taping for New Japan Strong, because they tape for like a week. They tape up to like 2-3 months in advance. So when you were complaining that Moxley wasn't here for a couple of weeks for AEW, that was the reason. He was over with New Japan doing those shows in California. But because those shows are in California, not Japan, Tony Khan had to sign off on this. So I believe that this is a part of a working relationship, a working deal, that Tony Khan said, yeah, you can use Moxley for this, but what are you going to give to me? And I guess one of the people that they're giving to him is Kenta. Maybe this is just the start of the working relationship, and maybe there will be more cameos from both sides going over to the other. But this is a start. The Forbidden Door, if it's not cracked open, it's cracked, at least.
Yes.
So this is all good things. And once again, it is a credit to my good friend, the prophet, the all-high, the almighty Anthony Khan, Esquire.
So basically what you're saying is he got fucked in the ass for 8 months, 10 months, however long it was. And then that guy that was fucking him in the ass finally left. He was like, oh, thank God. Somebody get the lube.
And now he gets a little spit.
What do you think? What do you think of Kenta?
I like Kenta. I personally wish a lot more would have been done with him over in the Northeast. But I like Kenta. I like that he's here. I like that I'll be able to watch him again because I don't watch Japanese shows.
Not just because of Japanese shows, right?
No, just because.
Pretty much.
No,
Trying to save him, Jesus.
No, just because I don't know anybody over there. I don't understand, like, it's a whole new learning curve. Like, for example, why do they not have turnbuckles? Why do they just have one large turn pad? It's a lot of stuff for me to learn, and I just don't have the kind of time in my life to invest in something new.
Here's an excuse, by the way. I can't. There's lots of differences over there. There's 3 turnbuckles and not a turn pad. I don't have time to do a learning curve.
It's the worst fucking bullshit. Like he acts like two people that haven't known him for over a decade. Him being 2 decades. Like how the fuck you gonna bullshit up? Seriously?
How am I gonna learn these things? I turn it on. It's just one big turn pad. Wait, what?
It's a whole new roster of people. I don't even know if they commentate in English. Like
you don't even know?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna do it for the rest of my life. It's one big turn pad. What am I supposed to do? I turned it off. I got scared. What was that?
it's just like
There's 3 turnbuckles. Oh my god.
there's a lot of stuff happening right now.
That's fair enough.
And if I don't know you, I don't really care, which is why I hate NXT now. So there's that.
That's fair enough. I'm not sure I'm gonna cut this. What do you think about Kenta?
Like nothing happened. Yeah, I really like Kenta. I wish a lot more would have been done with him over in WWE. I'm glad that he's here now. I've missed Kenta and seeing him on my American wrestling television. I'm very excited for everything that this is going to involve him. I don't know about this Forbidden Door or who else is going to walk through it. If there's going to be any gorillas, for example. But CC, I'm very intrigued.
I really like his shirt, by the way.
It was a nice play with the Florida flag.
I've always loved the Bullet Club shirts. I will say that. Where it's like all kind of customized with all the same. Like I wish NWO did that with their shirts.
Oh my god, so many ideas now.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea.
That was very creative.
Yeah.
And that was the young Bucks idea, just putting that out there.
I've noticed.
To be fair, isn't merchandising one of the wives of the Young Bucks?
Give him no credit.
I believe I read that somewhere.
Would his wife be working in merchandise if it wasn't for... Just because she does the merchandise, it doesn't mean she comes up with the ideas, sir.
No.
They try.
He's the on-screen talent. They're the brains.
No, wow.
Very clearly.
You want to give him no credit.
Very clearly, especially Nick Jackson's wife. Because it's Nick Jackson's wife, Matt Jackson's wife.
No, it's actually Matt Jackson's wife that's in charge of the merchandise, so
Is it?
you botched that. Yep, you
All right,
botched that.
well, I guess that makes it more of a fair balance then.
Your hatred of Matt Jackson is hilarious. I liked him this week. He didn't chomp any gum. He didn't fucking have a giant earring in his ears. He fucking talked.
He got the hell out within a couple of minutes. It was beautiful.
So we gotta assume Moxley and Omega is for the pay-per-view, right?
I would think so. I would think for Revolution next week, we got a lights out, non-sanctioned matchup with Jon Moxley teaming up with Lance Archer to verse Kenny Omega and Kenta. And Kenny Omega caught up with Kenta backstage at Daly's place.
Yeah, we're not
and
friends.
was like, yeah, hey, what's going on, man? Bullet Club. Welcome to Bullet Club of America. And he told him, shut the fuck up. I don't like you. And walked away. Walked away from Omega. And Omega said, well, that's okay. That's fair. Tony Khan. So since you want to make big matches for TV, how about me and my buddy Kenta over here? Yes, the guy that just told him to shut the fuck up. To verse Moxley and Archer. I know because he's with New Japan, you can't make it a sanctioned match, so make it non-sanctioned. Lights out match.
I'm here for it.
How do we feel about the immediacy that Kenta shows up and then he's in a match next week? Like I feel like I'd want to build to that.
That's probably a necessity, I would imagine. Like, I'm not just giving you Kenta to do what the fuck you want with him. 1 o'clock here. Do it.
I guess. I don't know. I just like to see, because he just told him to fuck off. So, like, maybe Don Callis, for example, trying to convince Kenta to give us this one match. Even if it's just a week. Even if it's just a week, throwaway.
I don't hate that.
I think that is Kenta's personal agenda against Moxley more than helping out the Bullet. Maybe we get some more Bullet Club crossover. I would love them to just be one happy big group. I just want them all to get along and take over the wrestling world.
That's hilarious.
Well, they are a united front, at least on Twitter. So there's that.
Now on Twitter, Tama Tonga been talking all that shit.
Well,
he said he tagged Kenta. He tagged Kenta and he was like, make sure you slap Oshega and the middle-aged Bucks. And
oh shit!
This Festus, the Festus #1 and the smaller Festus.
Or maybe not some time ago, but like Finn Balor, Adam Cole, like they were just on Twitter with their support.
Not people that are currently in the Bullet Club, you mean?
Oh yeah.
Previously.
The people I would be familiar with.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Always.
Not a problem. It's just personal.
Plug.
My battery is dying. The most egregious thing. So if you want to hear about Joey Janela or Dr. Luther or Marco Stunt or Matt Jackson,
promo this week.
or in general, the most egregious or Shitsy Blackheart, the worst things in the world of American professional wrestling on that week, give me a follow on the YouTube. My battery is dying. Lose a G if you want to follow me on Twitter. A lot of people get upset with me and my takes.
It's not shocking. It's not shocking even a little bit. Plug.
I saw Brandy Rhodes reply to you.
Yeah, caught me off guard.
What'd she say? What did you say? What did she say?
He tried to insult her, and she said that only you think that, no one else does.
To be fair, I was insulting her in-ring work. There was a poll, who's a better worker, Red Velvet or Brandy Rhodes, and Brandy Rhodes had 2 votes to 1. And I said, how did Brandy Rhodes have any votes whatsoever? And then she waited until there were, it was 42 votes for her to 21 votes for Red Velvet, because it was 63 votes. And then she goes, well, I guess some people just disagree with you.
Oh, she was very sweet to you, even though you're
Yeah, she was very nice for you being a dickhead.
Wow.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was surprised she responded
at all. Absolutely.
Yeah. But, you know,
one of those guys.
This is why I tagged them directly, which is another heated battle I got into afterwards. Well, why are you tagging people? Because that's how they respond, dumbass.
Was the guy that made the post said that to you?
No, some random fluky underneath it. It was kind of a bitch move to tag real life people when you want to talk shit. I was like, yeah, but if I don't, they don't see it probably. So
you're nice to the troll. He's very pointed. It's a point to it.
Right.
I'm not openly talking shit. I want them to know, and if it's in any way, shape, or form a motivating factor for her, great.
He wants you to notice him, essentially.
Yes. Also, I want to be big in the wrestling community, so.
This is not the way to go about it. It seems like kind of the opposite way to go about it, sir.
Yeah.
It seems like counterproductive, a little sabotagey. Like what?
You know,
I want to be big in the wrestling community, so I'm going to tear down everybody who possibly noticed me.
You know, it's not. That's not fair. That's not true.
It's true right there.
I get liked and commented for positivity about Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. So there's that.
Fair enough. Do you have a plug, sir?
I find it funny. I just find all this shit about it funny. But I just want to say to that Twitter user that replied back to him, no one talks shit about Cash except for me and Jimmy.
That's
first of all.
Have
I
some
just want to
respect.
put that shit out there. Don't be saying no bitch moves, any of that shit. You don't know him.
Right.
Unless you know him, then you know the type of person he is and can comment on it. You don't know that shit. Just want to put that.
Absolutely. Nobody call him a bitch is us.
No,
We've seen his bitchness up front and personal.
For decades! Check out our wrestling YouTube channel.
You're not gonna stay here for the fucking plug? What an asshole!
Call me a bitch.
If you haven't already, push the subscribe button, like this video, share this video. Check out True Hill Heat 111 featuring John Kerrigan. Great episode over there. We talk about everything coming out of Royal Rumble and, of course, Kenta on AEW.
Indeed. Post your comments, however, down below. Like, share, subscribe.